So,
Good stuff.
if you wanted to start out, just tell us a bit about the project and um, just all about it, I guess.
Yeah, a little bit about the project, maybe a little bit about yourself and your background as well to give the guys an idea of where you're coming from.
Yeah, sure. So I am the founder of the Kingdom of Aerin. It's an NFT project which is likely to mint on IMX, subject to a thorough review beforehand. Yeah, so my name's Liam. I am a lawyer in real life, or a solicitor for those of you in the UK. I fell into the world of NFTs in like February this year. And like everyone else, I became slightly obsessed and lost a bit of my life to it. I think that's fair to say. Um, I think you'll all have that experience when you first get into NFTs, that it's just a bit of an overwhelming world. You just divulge yourself into it.
Oh yeah, we're all buried in it 24/7, pretty much all of us.
Yeah, I was chatting to a few of the guys in the Air chat, and they were saying that yeah, they've been told off by their better halves a few times for spending far too much time on Discord, so I can definitely relate to that. I'm also a dad in real life. I've got a 10-month-old baby and another baby on the way. My baby actually kept me up all night last night in preparation for this. So I had about 2 hours sleep. So I'm running on fumes and beer. So good times. Um, yeah. So from my time of divulging into NFTs, I've done sort of everything you can imagine. I've helped out with projects, I've moderated projects, I've given advice to lots of projects, I've traded them, flipped them, collected them, decided not to mint them, got rug pulled a couple of times. I've made some money, I've lost some money. It's a roller coaster. I think the NFT world. But I've learned a lot of lessons from my time doing all of that. One thing I did learn throughout all of that is that NFTs are most definitely a big part of our future, whether that's part of, whether that's in the metaverse, whether that's brands getting involved. Twitter's going to be involved soon. Coinbase is launching its own platform, and I think that's going to really kickstart a lot of things. But I decided that I really wanted to make something myself. I'm a massive fan of law. I love writing. My imagination is crazy. It doesn't stop. Even when I'm sleeping, I'll just dream about this project and what I can do, and it just doesn't stop. So I just wanted to set myself up to create something fun. And that was the main priority of all of what I wanted to do. And the idea of the Kingdom of Aerin came to me whilst I was playing Skyrim, actually. And Henry was just joking then to put some Skyrim music on, but it is actually how it happened. I was playing Skyrim, and I was looking around at projects that day, and I just didn't see anything different. You see lots of the same sort of thing over and over again. I'm not going to name any, but the same sort of creatures come up time and time and time again. And I just wanted to do something different, and I set about planning how to do that. And one of the key things I wanted to do is I wanted to have 4 different types of creatures or clans or whatever you want to call them in the project. So we set out, and I set out speaking to some artists, and I just basically said to them they've got creative freedom to do whatever they want to do. So in the Aerin project, we've got 4 incredibly talented artists. I can actually see one of them is listening into the MA Mac. But we've got Mac, Dama, Bulmer, and Ed, and they're all really, really good, and they've all got very different styles, which is something that I actually personally love, because I think not everyone likes the same art. We've all got our own individual tastes, so it hopefully caters to everyone's tastes. We've also got Ed on board, Ed Dinzoli, who is he's commissioned works for Fox and Adult Swim, and he's super experienced, lovely guy, and yeah, also amazingly talented. So that's the sort of basis of the art. We've got 4 artists, 4 clans. The Discord is set up slightly differently. People say it's similar to the Immutable Apes. I don't think it is very similar. At first, it was set out a bit like that until we recruited the King's Guard, but then I had to play around with it. And now, basically, the Discord is set up to try and encourage as much fun as possible. So, we've set up like a mining bot. We've got degen land where people go wild and bet money and have cockfights and gamble all their fake money on roulette and blackjack. And then there's all sorts of things like the battleground where basically we try and spam Discord as much as we can and have fights. But eventually I want to use it for more like quest-based sort of games in the Discord, and we can do competitions and all that sort of stuff. There's been a bit of a story throughout the Discord for those of you who've been involved since day one. We've gradually revealed each of the artists' work, and there's been a bit of a storyline where our King Aerin has been a bit unfaithful to the Queen, and he's got a lady on the side, and basically the whole premise is that the clans will go to war. So at some point in the near future, maybe I think 10 to 14 days maximum, all of the clans will be revealed, and each of the member of the community will pledge allegiance to one clan. So you'll basically choose which artist you like. There'll be a bit more. Each of the artists' profiles will be released, so they'll have links to their OpenSea, their Twitter, and all that sort of stuff, so you can do a bit of research on the artist. And then you'll pledge allegiance to one of the clans, and then there'll be all sorts of fun and games around, Discord, and making it quite fun. I don't want to give too much away because it spoils all the fun. So I'll answer those questions cryptically. The whole point of all of this, I personally wanted to foster a good community, and I think that's so important in the NFT world. I often join projects when I'm looking around, and you go into the chats, and it's just like GM, 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 over and repeat. What's the mint price? When reveal? When Lambo? Those are the questions that you always see, but it's not something that I really wanted to encourage in my Discord. I wanted to have a bit of fun with it and just create some sort of world where people can escape and just do what they want. The Discord's also set up so people can just do what they want to do. I create different roles for people in the Discord. We've got all sorts of things. We've got like court jesters, town drunks, food tasters. People reach out to me all the time and say they want to be something different, and that's fine. I think it encourages like a unique community where they can all play a part and have fun with it. So at the moment we're in the stage where I'm trying to build the core community and make sure everyone's happy and having fun, and then eventually I will pull the trigger on expanding. We've got people ready to do that, and I'm teamed up with people ready to make the Discord bigger. But the priority at the moment was to make sure everything goes well. We create that community before we expand, because the last thing I want is it full of people just saying when mint, how much, and all that sort of stuff, which is bound to happen. But I want to have fun with it at first and make sure.
I can guarantee that those questions are coming shortly.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I'm ready for those, but I want to have a core community ready to help me answer those questions, and also to encourage people to have fun as well as not just saying when mint.
Not just flippers.
Yeah, exactly. So from all my time in NFTs, I realized there was 4 issues with the NFT world. I think the main issue is obviously hackers and people DMing you trying to steal your precious Ethereum tokens. Just a note on that, guys, don't ever click links, turn your DMs off, be safe, be smart. No one ever really does stealth mints. Just be careful. Stay safe, yeah. Anyway, so bots and hackers are a problem. Rug pulls are a problem. Copy and paste projects which use the same sort of similar art, different names, boring, or giveaways, another problem. And then obviously a major problem is flippers and paper hands. So I spent a long time trying to work out how to avoid those problems. Obviously, they're problems that are going to happen, and I'm not stupid or naive to think that that's not going to happen. But what we're trying to do is make something to try and stop that from happening. So the first part of the roadmap is, and again, I hate that word roadmap, because what I want to do with Aerin is different in the sense that I want to be guided by the community on what they want to do. I think if you've got a few thousand brains pulling together rather than just my brain, I mean, it's going to have more success than just me trying to think of what's good on my own. So what I want to encourage is a community making decisions together. But anyway, the first part isn't really community based. The first part is a deflationary mechanism where you can basically sweep the floor or mint 4 NFTs, and you can send them all to the afterlife, and you can summon a rare NFT. So it's a secret clan, and it's called. I've already announced what they're going to be. It's the Drauga, the skeleton people. I'm working with someone on that already. We're discussing how to make it really cool. We're exploring whether we can incorporate the clans into the Drauga, so you can have like different traits from the clans and their sort of dead clan members and that sort of thing. So we're exploring that at the moment. It's really fun. So that's the first part, and the idea behind that is it obviously reduces the number of NFTs in the collection, which increases the rarity and increases the floor price. Hopefully, it means that someone's guaranteed to get a rare, which is what I find that people always strive for in NFT world. Everyone's trying to push for that rare. It's almost like a crazy game of lottery. I find with NFTs, sometimes people will literally spend like 0.1 Ethereum minting something in the hope that they get one of 10,000 that's rare. So that's something that's quite interesting and unique. Although since I announced my roadmap, and I've seen a couple of other projects trying to recreate that as well. But anyway, now the other part of the roadmap is clan treasuries. So the whole idea behind the clan treasuries is basically each clan will have like its own treasury. There'll be a link to Etherscan so they can track it. I'll have control over the treasury, but ultimately the community will decide what to do with the treasury. So there will be games like ciphers, puzzles, riddles for clans to compete in, and then the clans as a community will decide how to invest their Ethereum. There's all sorts of different ways they can do that. They can invest the Ethereum in other NFT projects. They can sweep the floor. They can do something in real life. They could create like an ale, just as an example. They can invest in the metaverse. They can create their own NFT project. They're just examples, but together they'll basically have a pot of money to do what they want with. And the mechanism to get to that stage will have clan leaders. I haven't decided how many clan leaders yet, but that's up to the community to decide. But there'll be a number of clan leaders that basically sift through the proposals, and then they'll put it to a vote in their sub community. The idea behind that, again, is like I said, if you put 1,000 people together and give them a budget, I would hope that they would be able to create something amazing. I've seen it from just my small community now. The amount of creativity and what people have set out to do already. I'm going to give Darklaw a big shout out here. Darklaw is a member of my community who reached out, and we've been working on like a fun little mini game for Aerin. It's not ready yet. Don't hold me to this, but we've been testing it and it's really fun. It's basically like Flappy Bird, but instead you're a knight riding a dragon. So yeah, I mean that's just an example of what someone can do just reaching out and having fun. Then there is also other hidden things in Aerin, and I'm not gonna lay claim to any of these things. I think one of my big pet hates with NFT projects is they will say, "Oh, we're gonna release this, we're gonna do this, we're gonna build this," with no concrete plans, no evidence to back it up. They're just saying it to increase the chance of people minting and increasing their treasury. And I don't know, and sometimes you'll never see that Ethereum again. But I'm sure every single one of us listening to this AMA today will be able to point to a project. And don't anyone name names, please, because I don't want to get told off. But someone will be able to point to a project and say, "You promised this and you didn't deliver." And I don't want to do that. So I've got plans of my own for Aerin. Some trusted people in the Discord know about those plans. They're not just made up, but the idea behind those plans is to just release them when they're ready. It'll be a complete stealth. Today we've launched this, and the idea behind those stealth drops and those things is to add value to the NFTs and again to just have fun. But I don't want to be that guy that says I'm going to create Aerin tokens and all of those sorts of things when there's no solid basis that that's ever going to happen. So I focused the roadmap on two things I definitely can deliver and two unique things that I thought would help solve the problems that I identified. Yeah. Today we actually decided as a team to reduce the mint size as well. So we've been working all of this out, and it's never been official what the mint size is going to be, and we've been trying to work out what's best for Aerin as a project and for the community as a whole. But we've actually decided to opt for 4,444 mint size, so a relatively small mint. We can't really justify going any smaller than 4,444 because we have got 4 artists as well. It's not like we're just launching 4,444 of the same images slightly tweaked. We have actually got 4 sub collections within a collection. So I think 4,444 is a good number. It represents the 4 clans. With the deflationary mechanism as well, we could end up with a lot less than 4,444. Yeah, so I suppose that's a bit about Aerin, a bit about me. Yeah, a bit about the team. I should say as well, the development team that was on board is Johnny and Simon from Bad Grandma. So we reached out to those guys because they had a really successful mint on IMX, and we saw that quite a lot of people are struggling on IMX, but BG seemed to absolutely smash it. So big shout out to Simon. Yeah, so they'll be handling the development side for us. Your guys probably have, well, you certainly know them at Cryptic Crypto because I know you've already done AMAs with them, but they are purely handling the smart contracts for us. So that's their role in all of this. They're not actually a part of the core project team in terms of designing Aerin and having any involvement in that sense. I saw a lot of people in Bad Grandma saying to Simon, you should be spending all of your time making Bad Grandma as good as you can. And he is, he's put so much work into that, and his focus is solely Bad Grandma. He's got a development team that also work on projects, and that's what they're helping us with. Cool. So that's a bit about Aerin, a bit about me. Anything you want to add, Zal or Henry or Rock?
I think you, as far as what I know, I think you just about covered everything.
Yeah, I just launched into it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome. Okay, so you say 4,444. We're assuming that's gonna be split into 1,111 for each one.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, so it'll be
Okay.
1,111.
Is that going to
I
be
think
full mint, or are you going to be holding some of them back for giveaways and for stuff within your server, or any kind of limited kind of stuff, where it's just going to be full volume, total volume available?
No, so some of them it's a launchpad project, of course. So some 100 go to the launchpad. So that's Bad Grandma holders. So I think Simon announced that there'll be airdrop to Bad Grandmas who have a certain trait. Don't know off the top of my head what that trait is. I think it was the VR glasses or something. So 100 will go to them, and then there will be 44 reserved for giveaways and yeah, basically the moderation team will get a free mint for their help running the project, and then there'll just be some for giveaways and for collaborations with other projects. So yeah, so there's 44 to that and 100 to, so the total available to mint will be 4,300.
Okay, cool, awesome, good to know. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I'll start off with one or two of the easier questions. Shinta's asking, what games inspired you aside from Skyrim?
Oh god, there's so many good ones. I mean, all of the Skyrim series were so good, but yeah, I mean, Skyrim was the main one. I think you can all sense that there's Dungeons and Dragons elements here. I forgot to say what the clans were actually, so I didn't cover everything. So we've got a clan of elves, we've got a clan of minotaurs, we've got a clan of tieflings, which are basically devils, and we've got a clan of Locathar, which are what I like to call fish people. So yeah, I mean the elves are drawn by Mac. They're all hand drawn. They're incredibly detailed. The Locathar are created by Dama. The Minotaurs are created by Ed, and the Tieflings are created by Bulma. So so to answer the question, I think it's got a lot of D&D elements to it, and the whole questing and role playing and that sort of stuff is got big elements from there. But the whole questing was from Skyrim and Morrowind and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, that's the main inspirations: D&D and Skyrim.
Okay, cool. I think you just made Shinta like as happy as can be because he does his weekly D&D sessions.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of serious D&D players in here too.
I've just seen as well someone saying, JT saying that Simon couldn't be here because Elio's nabbed him for the super rare launch. Like I said, Simon and the dev team, Johnny, they are incredibly knowledgeable on IMX, and that's a prime example of why we've reached out to them and comboed with them. Cool. Let's go for the next one, shall we?
Yeah, we'll just jump into a couple of them. So we'll ask with some of the easy ones. We'll start off with the easy ones first, and we'll take it up from there. So from I Am Wayland, the question is: the name Aerin is the name Aerin arbitrary, or is there a fun story behind it?
No. So actually, when I was younger, I used to play D&D as an elf. I'm not giving any secrets away. You can see my profile pictures and elf as well. But yeah, so I used to play, and that used to be my name when I was playing that. I used to mess around with it, and I just feel like it's a good king's name. It's obviously a very elvish and like fantasy type name as well, but the main story is that I used to play games using that name, and I think my League of Legends character is even called Aerin as well. So so that's where that came from. It's just there's no major backstory to Aerin. For those of you who know the Nifty Nuggets, I don't know if you know about those guys, Henry, Zal, but they are also on IMX. Do you know those guys?
We didn't do anything with them, but we did hear about them. We were checking out the Discord at one stage. I personally didn't get into that one, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think it's still locked, so it's quite a closed profile. But yeah, we're having some fun at the moment, creating like a sequel about Aerin with Nifty Nuggets, which is quite fun. I think some of the guys in there, they basically get free reign to do what they want that's fun, which is what I love about that as well. But we're sort of creating a sequel with them, which is really funny, about when Aerin becomes like an undead king. So that's like, very much in the future. But yeah, I mean, that's going to be quite fun to play out. You can watch that space. That'll be happening soon. Yeah. I think that answers the question well enough. So my name Aerin, it comes from me playing games as a youngster. You will be able to find me on all of my Steam accounts and my Twitch account and my and my League of Legends, my Riot account, all of that is all Aerin. So that's where that came from. I know you're all going to be furiously typing in Aerin to try and find me on League of Legends now.
Yeah, it's kind of like I play Zal everywhere as well. So,
Yeah.
all right. Well, seeing as we just tied that into there, basically with your little thing about the follow up coming with Nifty Nuggets, there's the one from Darklaw asking about any lore drops from the king, or any hints towards lore. So just asking generally.
So I'm sure you can all imagine that lore plays a massive part of Aerin. It's the main driver. I don't want to give too much away. The lore is we've got someone in the server called Omnus, and he has basically been recruited by me as the lore master. He's the master of lore. Big shout out to Omnus. A few of the guys in the server will have seen his work in private. He is absolutely incredible at writing. Like, I think I'm good at writing. I'm a lawyer by trade. I've got really good writing skills and I'm quite imaginative, but Omnus absolutely thrashes me every day of the week. His descriptions of things are just incredible. In the DGen land, we're doing a competition at the moment where you can win like a load of Discord coins, and if you manage to buy a castle in the Discord, you get a free mint. Basically, just like a fun side competition.
How
If you
many coins do we need?
So if you go into DGen and it's a lot. You need 15 million coins. I say it's a lot. It's quite easy to do. I'm still laughing at Josen, who I think is in here. He was earlier, and Darklaw himself actually, and they both basically managed to get 15 million yesterday. But we do have one more, which is 25 million, and it's the Undead King, the castle, and they both gambled their 15 million away, so they didn't actually buy the castle and get a free mint. So they were that degen that they literally threw away a free mint. Yeah, yeah, mad.
Okay. Yeah, I was away for work for the last 2-3 days. I've just started. I'm on like 50K only.
Yeah, so that's something. Anyway, come back to the lore. So Omnus is the guy that's going to be writing it with me. There's a whole kingdom and a whole universe to be explored with the lore. But we also want to give the community a chance to create their own lore. So we've actually got a website which will go live in the next week, maybe. It depends on when I finalize the story and release the last clan. But once all the clans are released, the website will go live, and basically it's like Wikipedia for Aerin. So every single member of the community will be able to log their own entry into their character. So you will basically be able to create your own house. So you'll be, for example, House Aerin, and then I want everyone to effectively create their own backstory as to what they do in Aerin, what they want to do. They can just go wild to write stories as much as they want, so that'll be quite fun. And some people have already like really delved into it massively. I think Redneck is in here that I saw earlier. He's basically set himself out to be the villain of Aerin, so he just wants to like basically ruin my life every day, and he tags me about 50 times in the Discord every single day, which is very annoying. Redneck, please stop doing that.
Yeah, he also just posted a few minutes ago that he's just found the clan of villains chat.
Yeah, so I do all sorts of fun. Like I've tasked him with like secret tasks and stuff like that. But the website will be fun, I think, because everyone can just basically create their own character. And then there'll be more competitions from following on from the website. So I want people to like design their own house crests and stuff like that. Just quite fun. We did like a dragon's tapestry competition at the start, which was really fun, and I'm still putting that together. But the amount of artistic talent in the Discord is absolutely insane. Yeah.
Sounds like some very, very cool engagement based things. I'm looking forward to that as well. I can't wait to see what people come up with in terms of stories.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that bit as well. Cool. I think that answers the lore. I don't really want to give
Yeah.
too much away on the actual clans because I can say that once you've made your choice, so there will be an event in the Discord where everyone makes a choice and they choose which clan they want to align themselves with. Once you've done that, you will then, as a clan, choose the. I think two of the clans have got names, or three of the clans have got names, but you will be able to have an influence on what direction the clan takes. I don't really want to give too much away, but yeah, that will all come very shortly.
Yeah, we've been patiently waiting for that since we saw that it came up when you mentioned it right in the beginning when we were going up for the god.
Yeah, I saw that people. People always ask me, well, I can't do the choice, and I'm like, oh. So I changed the fact to say you can't do it yet, and that's
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was one of them.
No, in fairness, I didn't explain that very well, but the whole point is to reveal the clans' backstories, and then once all of the clans are revealed, we can make your choice, and you can decide which clan you want to go with. Cool.
Great. All right. Cool. Then I'll get to your next questions shortly. This from XRX man. There was one just asking if you have got any kind of game or anything along those lines planned in the future. His commentary to that is, yeah, he's definitely reaching, but something like a tabletop would be really sick with different power cards like Magic the Gathering or something.
Oh God. Yeah, you pinned me right down there. I'm not going to make any promises. No, I'm not making any promises. But something we're working on in the background is, yeah,
Oh,
literally
don't worry.
along, literally along those lines. So I'm not going to give too much away. But yeah, I mean, something that we're working on in private, and there's a few of us working on that. We are designing something along those lines. Yeah.
Well, that was a good fishing expedition there, XRX. Well done.
Yeah, I mean that was great because he literally nailed it on the head. Yeah, it's one of those things that, like I said earlier, I don't want to make any overt promises, and I don't want to, you know, I want to over deliver, under promise, over deliver. I think that's the right saying.
Yeah, the best approach.
Yeah, and but something that we are looking at in the background is creating a game, a trading card game. Yeah, what a question! Literally nailed it in one XRX-man. You're meant to be my barman, or you're Lord of the Bar, and you've just literally got that out of me in like what 36 minutes.
That must be him serving you drinks.
Yeah, he's put something in my mead, I think. So yeah, look, I'll be outright and honest. We are working on a game. It's in its really early stages. I don't want to make any promises, but the concept behind the game and a few of the guys are working on it with me is that there's going to be a trading card game, a bit like Hearthstone, Gwent, Magic the Gathering, those sorts of things. I think he nails it in one, really, the concept of the kingdom and the four clans, the secret clan, the lore behind it all. It lends itself to a game of that sort of making, and I think you can have a lot of fun making that. So yeah, let's move on to the next one.
All right. Well, then you've got Redneck's got a couple of questions for you. He's got a series of 3. Question number 1: are you going to provide counseling for him and his wife, as Degen Land has been very addictive and he's in trouble? Question number 2: is there a mint limit per person? And then number 3 is you mentioned having a mechanism to sweep the floor. Will that be able to keep the price up?
I'll give him counselling whenever he wants. My DMs are open. I'll give him a cuddle and make him feel better. That's fine. I'll send him to the baths to see Lady Bartholomew and.
Well, I don't think the missus will be happy with that one either.
Yeah.
That's maybe not the solution.
No. But yeah. So the mint limit. We're still deciding on that. I'll probably put it to a vote in the Discord, if I'm completely honest. I think it'll be at least 4, and the reason it'll be 4 is because people can then at least guarantee themselves one of the Draugr if they want it. So you mint 4, and if you don't like them or you don't get a rare one, you can burn them all and get yourself a Draugr in the next round. That'll probably go live like 4 to 8 weeks after the initial mint. So I think it will be at least 4, even for people who are whitelisted. And then I'm not sure what the hard cap will be. I don't know whether there will be a hard cap. I'll probably put it to a vote in the Discord closer to mint and just give people a few options. And as a community, we can decide together what we want to do. But I'm happy to listen to suggestions. And I don't want to sort of nail my colours to the mast right now to say, yeah, it's going to be 4 or 5 or 6 or whatever. Yeah. So, and then what was the final one?
The third question was, you mentioned a mechanism for sweeping the floor and whether that would be able to keep the prices up.
Yeah, so I think that was what the intention was with the deflationary mechanism, because it gives people a chance to just buy 4 off the floor, and then you can just burn them and get yourself a guaranteed rare. So I hope that, in a sense, will help keep the floor higher, because it will mean that you basically sweep 4 off the floor. Yeah, and you can guarantee yourself a rare.
So it's basically a community-based sweep.
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing is, if the clan wants to sweep the floor with their treasury, they can. That's one of the things that they can vote on. There'll be some Ethereum in the clan treasuries to start with. I'm going to have to revise the budget that goes into those treasuries, because if we've reduced the mint size by like 6,000, But there will be Ethereum for the clans to play with straight away. And if they want to sweep the floor immediately, then they can do that. Although I will say, everyone in here, if you are in Aerin, will have taken my pledge, and I don't expect you to list your Aerin NFTs for anything less than 2.5 Ethereum. And if you do, I will come and find you.
The king will crush you.
Yeah. Cool. Hope that's answered those.
If you need any more clarity, feel free to pop those questions up. If there's any, you also, of course, the usual shill. We do suggest that you, if you're not already in the server, head on over there and post questions, get engaged, ask whatever you'd like to know. It's a pretty cool community to be part of. Getting up through the different ranks, getting your different titles is quite fun.
Yeah. I just seen Redneck just ask as well. Just of those 4 mints, will the whitelist be able to do all 4 before regular minters? The answer to that is yes. So the whitelist will have a set period of time before it opens up to public sales, same as it always does. And we are shooting for a 48-hour reveal. So you buy, 48 hours after public mint. I say that with bated breath because the good folks over at IMX have had other plans with other IMX projects with their reveals, and I know it's not been as smooth sailing as everyone thinks. But the aim is to have a set period of time for whitelist to mint, then there will be public mint, and then there will also be and then there will be a reveal 48 hours after. The other thing I was going to say is, and I forgot what I was going to say. That's great, isn't it? In terms of the whitelist period of how long you're going to get to mint before the public sale starts, that's something that I'm battling with at the moment. I'm doing a lot of research with other projects, watching how their mints go. I'm finding that with the really long mint periods, so there's a lot of projects that are giving like 3 or 4 days for whitelist to mint. You actually lose like a lot of the hype and the fun that builds up to a public mint. And I'm finding that by the time it actually comes to public mints, people have sort of assessed whether the floor is at like 1 Ethereum and decided whether to mint or not. And I see it a lot. You see it quite a lot in all of the projects that are minting when you've got a few days to mint that people flip and they paper hand and then they try and sell for like 0.00001 over the mint price, and then people decide not to mint. So I think it has a big impact when you give like a really long period. So at the moment, I'm not minded to give like 3 days for whitelist to mint. I think in the actual terms of the actual mint and the way it goes, I think it actually does more harm than good. I think the sweet spot is finding like a time zone where everyone's available and just giving like plenty of notice for that time, and then giving like a few hours. I'm not sure though. I'm not saying that's what's been decided, but just from my research and from what I've seen happen in other projects, I feel like that happens quite a lot, and it can cause quite a lot of harm to the mint. But that's something that we can discuss. Again, I'll probably put it to a vote, and we'll decide as a community what's best.
Yep, sounds good. I really dig the approach of you being so open to getting the community's opinion on everything. That does build a lot more sort of community feel and a lot more of sort of a stronger community, I feel, as well. So I think that's a pretty bullish statement in and of itself.
Yeah.
Cool. Check. I just see in chat there, Redneck Game Master's posting about his total of coins. He says 98% of the coins he's got from stealing from the king. He posts a screenshot where he just stole like 44,000 coins from you.
Yeah, he does it all the time. That's half of what he does, tagging me. Like every time I log into Discord, I've got like 7 tags from him trying to rob me. I've already given him like the banished title and tried to kick him out of Discord, but he just keeps coming back.
So I think the best thing there is banking. Shouldn't you be banking your coins?
I should be, yeah. I've just seen 2 questions. I'm just going to get them out of the way, so
Go
that's
for
all
it.
right. When mint, how much mint? I knew these ones were coming. So at the moment, we're heading to revealing the clans within, say, 10 days. Then, depending on how everything goes, I would hope that we would be aiming for an end of December mint, so week commencing 27th of December. But I'm also conscious that's the Christmas period.
Oh,
So
that's okay.
yeah, I
Give
suppose.
give yourself the gift of the kingdom of Aerin.
Yeah, exactly. Christmas presents all around, right? Yeah, so I think that's roughly when it's going to be. My main priority, I've got 4 collections within a collection. It's a lot of things to go through, like to make sure they're all perfect. We've got a lot of lore to get through. I want to make sure everything goes smoothly. That involves a lot of work with IMX. I think IMX is honestly still up for debate with me. Being completely honest with you, like the volume isn't actually there at the moment. There's not enough wallets in IMX. The OpenSea market is just so much bigger, but I do honestly think IMX is the future of the space of Ethereum NFTs. But it's just not there yet. The mechanism for minting, the fact that you're shoehorned when you try and mint, the issues with reveal and the metadata. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be worked on. I think what I don't know if you guys saw what Immutable Apes X did.
Yep.
Big shout out to Johnny and the team. They're awesome. I love Johnny. But they created that mechanism where you can basically bridge your layer 2 Ethereum NFT back to layer 1. And they're going to be the first IMX project listed on OpenSea, which I think is massive for IMX.
Oh yes,
Um,
absolutely.
and I saw that Gary V tweeted that, and so that's something that's really attractive. I think I'm going to watch how there's a few mints that are planned over the next few weeks on IMX. I'm going to watch how they go. I would say we're sort of 80% on IMX, but I want to make sure the mint goes smoothly. I want to make sure there's no issues. I also want to make sure people are not spending gas on minting at the same time. So it's a very fine balance. But I am, doing a lot of research. That's what I spend most of my days doing, looking at how mints are going and watching the mechanisms and making sure that we're making the right decision. You can only choose to mint once, and you've got to do it on the right platform. But I am a massive fan of IMX, and I do think it is the future. I think the user interface is pretty awful, though, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah, I think we can second that one.
Yeah, I think the user interface needs a lot of work. But like I said, they're all teething issues, aren't they? And eventually they'll all be sorted.
Yeah, I mean, Token Trove is pretty good in terms of that. It's a very much more similar to the OpenSea in terms of its appearance and the filtering and stuff like that, which is quite cool. So they're already heading in that direction. And I did see that they were also planning to incorporate that ability to bridge back to layer 1 within the IMX itself, which I'm kind of hoping is going to happen sooner rather than later.
Yeah, there was mention of like there being an IMX integration with OpenSea at some point as well. I mean, that would be just massive, wouldn't it? If you could just mint.
Dude, that would be sick.
Yeah, like that would just be a game changer. But I don't see why that wouldn't happen. It would be a good thing for everyone. And with Elio and Becca pushing IMX so hard over the next few weeks, yeah, I mean, there's no reason why it can't happen. I just saw someone mention ZK rollups as well. HR, he just mentioned anything new like ZK rollups. So I did actually look at ZK rollups, and I sort of reached out to the team and found out what they were all about. The problem with ZK rollups is they don't have a marketplace, where it's way too early. It's just not a viable option. So yeah, I did look at that, but not something. Yeah, Maris has just said what makes you so bullish for IMX over the other scaling alternatives. I wouldn't say it's necessarily that I'm bullish on IMX over others. I just think that IMX is the most advanced at the moment. They've already got their marketplaces sorted. I think our dev team has got experience with IMX, and they actually had really smooth mints on IMX. So that's something that attracts us to IMX. Yeah. Cool. I think that's answered those.
All right. Then more of a fun question again from Dark Claw. Will the King's Guard become Drago when you turn?
I like that idea. Possibly. I think we have to just sort of remember that there is a distinction between the Discord and at the moment as it is, and how it will be after Mint. So at the moment, it's designed for lots of fun and just to make people have that engagement. Once Mint is done, we've got lots of sort of Discord secrets where we're gonna it'll just be a complete revamp, basically. Kingsguard might not necessarily be Kingsguard anymore if they don't decide to mint. I mean, you can't
Sounds
really.
fair.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really have access to a Kingsguard treasury if you haven't minted on the project. It just doesn't work. So what I think will happen is, I think there'll be a big revamp, and that's all planned out already. But it won't be how it is now. The point of the Kingsguard at the moment was to just foster and give rewards to the early members of the community. So the first 300 that made it to the city got appointed to the Kingsguard. And I obviously left a few spaces to fill for people who are really engaged and awesome in the community. But yeah, I mean, there will be a revamp of the Discord. It'll completely change after Mint. There'll be a way to verify your NFT, and we're currently working on whether traits and the type of NFT can be distinguished within the Mint and to give you access to a verified channel for, like, say if you mint an elf, you'll have access to the elf channel. So we're working on that at the moment. It's not an easy task with my collab, and we've reached out to them, and we're having the discussions. They don't actually have a system in place for that at the moment, but they said that it's doable. So we're looking at that at the moment.
Okay, cool. All right. Oh yeah, just one question from my side. I think I just wait, before I get to that, you did give us sort of an idea of the timeline for when the mint's going to happen, but I think you skipped out on the idea of the mint price. Do you have a rough idea of what you're going to be putting a mint price at?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to vary because ETH is doing all sorts of weird things at the moment.
So you're going to adjust it based on what the current market price is.
Yeah, I imagine it'll be somewhere from like. I have to bear in mind as well that I've just cut the collection size, so I think it'll probably be 0.07 to 0.08. That's roughly where I'm going to place it. But obviously, if ETH skyrockets again, then it'll be adjusted. I don't want people paying an absolute fortune if ETH skyrockets, it'll drop. So yeah, it's going to be roughly 0.07 to 0.08. And the main reason we've kept it at that price is because we've reduced the collection size quite drastically to make it more valuable for everyone.
Yeah, it sounds like a fairly reasonable price for the smaller mint sizes as well.
Yeah.
All right, then my question is: you said sort of within each clan there'll be different collections. Can you maybe give a little bit more clarity on that one? And and also at the same time, does the whitelist will you only be able to mint from the clan that you're part of, or would you be able to mint any of the collections?
No, so that's what I was saying about the Discord. So at the moment, the Discord will all be just Discord games. The mechanism after the mint will be changed drastically. So the Discord will just be revamped and will take on a new life of its own. So because obviously we need to factor in the fact that people will want to burn, and then there'll be secret clans and all sorts of secret things going on.
Mm-hmm.
So when you mint,
Yeah,
you will mint randomly. It will be completely random. There is a few. I think there's 4 one of ones in each clan. Save for the Minotaurs. The Minotaurs are done slightly differently. So the way the Minotaurs are developed, Ed is an animator by trade. He did work for Adult Swim and Fox, and if you check him out, just go on his OpenSea or his Twitter, Ed Denzoli. He uses a program called Boontoon, I want to say. He's the expert on this, but he uses that program, and basically he is creating a collection of his own. I'll reveal more on that when it's revealed. But in the other clans, so in Mac and Bulma and Damas, there's going to be 4 or 5 one of ones in each clan, and then the rest will be generated from hand drawn traits.
Okay, so it'll be up to us basically. If you say join the elves and you mint a minotaur, then it'll be up to you to if you want to get one of your own clan NFTs or whether you keep the minotaur.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, so but bearing in mind, obviously, there won't be any major difference, save for the aesthetics. So it's the same as any other mint, really. You basically, if you want to choose a different one because you like the look of it, then um, that's how that's going to work. But for now, the purpose of the choice is just to sort of engage in different games effectively in Discord. It's not really like specifically linked to the mint. It's just a
Okay.
Discord function.
All right.
But afterwards, there will be lots of clan wars again. But you could end up with having being in two different clans, for example. If you mint more than one, you could end up with an elf and a minotaur, and you'd have a place in both of those clans.
Very cool. All right. Nice.
Cool.
Sounds like fun. All right. Then another one of the good questions. Darklaw asked some really good questions. His next one here that we almost passed over is: are there any safeguards in place to ensure that the four clans are approximately the same size, and will that matter in any way?
Yeah, so we are safeguarding that. So there will be 1,111 of each. So that's how it's that's how it's planned. So we'll be making sure. So the collection will be finalised and then released in that sense. But I've spoken
Okay.
to Johnny, and he's said that it's possible, and he's already got a plan in place to make sure that happens.
Okay, but there won't. But there's no system in place in terms of choosing your clan before the mint. That you don't have everyone jump into elves or everyone jump into one of the specifics, is there? Or
So with
you're gonna cap clan size maybe
yeah,
initially
no,
for the
exactly.
game.
Initially, so the initial there'll be an initial cap, and as the clans fill up, then they'll reopen and things like that. So I don't want everyone to jump on the elves, for example, and then the Locathar don't have anyone. Just as an example, I'm not sure that would happen, but basically we'll probably do it in batches to see how many reactions we get. So it'll just completely depend on how quickly they fill up. But with Carl, the bot, you can place a limit on the number of reactions, and it stops someone from choosing that clan. So we'll just keep that under monitoring and then up it as and when the clans fill up, just to make sure it's fair. Because you don't want to end up with 300 in one clan and 10 in the other. But I have already thought that through, and I've played around with the bot in private to check that it works, and it does. I'll just have to have the mods on hand ready to go. Um, yeah, but
Okay,
I think
that's
I think
cool.
it'll be smooth. I've already tested it, and it should be fine. But there is a cap.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's nice and simple. Makes it fair. Battle 1-on-1, 10-on-10, 1,000-on-1,000. Let's go.
Yeah, I was at one point considering doing 4 mints of 1,111, and then having like an all-out war between the four clans to decide who gets to mint first. Um, but I just
Oh,
yeah, I know. It was something I was playing around with for a little while. But I think just launching in one go will work better for the treasuries. Um, yeah. Josen's just asked a good question. Is there any plans to integrate utility/tokens with the clans? So here's my beef with tokens. Every single project I click on now has a token, and they can't all be worth a load of money, right? I think you see a few projects that have successfully implemented tokens. Kong's, Wolf Game, Neo Tokyo. They've got actual real world value with their tokens, but I feel like everyone now has a token, and it's sort of taken away from the point of having a token and making it unique. I don't know what your guys' thoughts are on tokens, but that's how I feel at the moment. That being said, what we're looking at doing instead is the game that we're building, or we're planning on building, I should say, is um, giving our holders drops of things that will increase the value of the NFT naturally. I'm going to leave it quite cryptic, so I don't want to give too much away, because I promised myself I wouldn't, and people have already got too much out of me.
that's the whole
But
point.
yeah, I know. But I think that's yeah. I think that's one of the things, isn't it? People want to know everything this very second. Like the moment they've joined the Discord, they want to know every single piece of information available. And I understand that because people are spending money on the NFT, so I completely get it. But if you look at projects like Neo Tokyo, I think they did it. You know, they've got Elio and Becca on their side, so they've got a million people following them on Twitter, so they have the benefit of being able to be more cryptic. But what I wanted to do and what I've always aimed to do is have my own plans in the background that just randomly drop and give people, you know, FOMO and they're like, wow, I'm glad I held on to my NFT. You know, that's what I want to do. But I can't do that if people like pull information out of me constantly.
Yeah, it also keeps the engagement up. I mean, if we find out all the information from you now, what's going to keep us coming back to Discord?
Well, exactly, and that's the other issue that people really struggle with, and you see it with lots of projects. They have the mint, and then it just completely dies a death. I want to have stuff going on in the background that people don't know about, and I don't want to promise people things that aren't going to happen. But there is a plan with the game that we want to build. It's not a token in a sense. It's not. You know, I'm conscious that also you've got security. As a lawyer, I'm very conscious about all the securitization laws, and I don't want to get people in trouble. I'm also a mod for Loomdart. He's got a huge following on Twitter. He's one of the crypto OGs. So I'm a mod for him and his Loomlock NFT. And you know, people always ask him about, you know, when are you going to make us money in terms of that sense. And he's always firmly been against tokens because of the rules on securitization and things along those lines. I think it's a dangerous world to get into. If you do it really wrong, you can get in a lot of trouble.
It's also one of those buzzwords for most projects that they promise a token or something along those lines. So the second question would be, or the better question would be, when are you making your own metaverse?
But in all seriousness, how sick would it be to walk through the dark forest in the metaverse with your elf or your minotaur? You know, it would be absolutely
Hell
insane,
yes.
right? But
Battle
again,
in
I'm
the
not.
forest.
Yeah, I'm not just gonna say, right, we're gonna build a metaverse just to sort of sell the NFT. Like if people want to explore that and the community says we think that would be amazing, like I've just sold it to you. I think it would be awesome if we built the dark forest in the metaverse and we had all sorts of fights and stuff in there or whatever, or just hung out there.
In Tyrion.
But yeah, exactly. Or the city of Tyrion, like the kingdom as a project lends itself to the metaverse, better than most projects, if you ask me, because there's so many unique areas and things you could do. Like imagine like an undead world where all the Draugr hang out, or like a place for the elves where they hang out in the elf palace or whatever it's called in Menegroth. I think I've named the castle. So all of those things would lend itself like amazingly to the metaverse. But I'm not just going to use it as like a buzzword to like get people to buy the NFT. It's not my style. I don't want to promise those things. I've I've been exploring different metaverse projects behind the scene, and there's a few projects that really stand out to me, like Leap Ben. Leap Ben is unreal. I've been playing around with that. I'm watching all of their YouTube videos and finding out what they're all about. With the intention of eventually just buying it and just dropping it. Imagine one day you're just on the Discord and out of nowhere there's an announcement when you can just jump into the dark forest and explore it. I mean, I don't want to just say that, oh, we're going to build the metaverse or we're going to invest in that. I just want to do it. I don't want to pin it on that, but I do think it would be cool. And I want other people to have an influence on what we do. So I want the clans. I think Darklaw again, dude, you are absolutely killing me here. But I've just seen him ask another question where he's asking about the 4 clans coming together and making a decision to combine their funds and build something even better. And of course, that is something that could definitely happen. If at the end of the day, Aerin as a community will be Aerin as a community. The sub communities is just a fun game. But if as a community in the over a few meads in the tavern, you decide to
Team up and
invest as a team and create, I don't know, the dark forest and the metaverse, then absolutely I'm all for it. absolutely love that, and I think that's a great idea.
Yeah. That's the second question. Mr. Flodo was asking the same thing as well. So we've got a bunch of people that are interested in that whole idea of the teams joining up together for one task and sharing costs. So I think your community is already behind that idea. And I must say,
Yeah.
the metaverse idea came to me the second I saw that post that you dropped of the map. I'm like, this seems like it's going in that direction. That could be really cool to explore the world.
Well, yeah, I mean, I mean the map. Yeah, I'm going to give a big shout out to Bodhi and Jacob and Trez and Bron. They all sort of did all the cartography for that. It's a really amazing map. I absolutely love it. But I agree. When you look at the map, you see there's so many unique areas on that map. That you could create. You could create a metaverse for each of them. We could buy a plot of land in each of the different metaverses. You know, you could get one in the crypto voxels, one in Lipen, and you could just have so much fun with each different type of metaverse. You know, they're all slightly different. Some of them are more pixelated, like Minecraft. Some of them are more 3D artistic. Yeah, I just think it does absolutely lend itself to the metaverse, this project. But it's not for me to include it on the roadmap. I don't want to just say, "Oh, we're going to go to the metaverse" without any real action. I want to put it to the community, and they will decide, you know, which plot of land we buy, which metaverse project we invest in. If we even do that, I mean, we don't have to do that. We can do something else. We can explore whatever the community wants to explore, and that's why I think Aerin is really different in that sense, because I'm not pinning the future on any one thing. I want to decide it as a team, because I think, you know, as a team we'll create something amazing.
Yeah, I think it's also a much better approach to get through the NFT and get everything up and running first before you go and make massive wild claims about metaverses and stuff, because that's the first sort of red flag saying we're going to make 4,000 NFTs and we promise you a huge metaverse that you can all play in 3 months time, and it's just like I don't think that's kind of realistic.
No, you see some absolutely outrageous claims. I'm not going to downplay any of these now, but there was some. Obviously, Wolf Game came out, right? And the FOMO and the hype around Wolf Game was absolutely insane. Like, projects were getting like 50,000 followers on Twitter in like 24 hours. It was mad. And there's about 1 million different ones. I'm not going to name names because I don't think that's fair.
Trust us, our DGens know all about the different ones that are out there. Everything with a game attached to the end of its name.
Yeah,
we've
yeah,
been checking out for the last couple of days, couple of weeks.
yeah. But some of them have mirrored Wolf Game well, right? They've done what Wolf Game has done, and they've done it well. But there is a few of them that have basically said they've created a game in 7 days, and it's just like just so many red flags to me. Like, I would never jump into something like that personally, because, you know, things like this. I imagine Wolf Game, right? It must have taken months of planning to create something like that, at least. And I know that they've sort of got the base foundations by just copying Wolf Game, but I just yeah, we'll see. I think a load of those discords are getting hacked as well.
Oh yeah, that's a big thing. Exploits and hacks are huge.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it is a big problem in Discord at the moment, isn't it? Those hacks.
Yep.
Sorry, was someone going to say something then?
No, go ahead.
Cool. Is there any what other ones have we got going on?
I've got a couple. I've got one that I'll keep for a bit later because it's kind of on a different topic altogether. But
Yeah.
then I am Waylon asks, what perks do the bad grandma holders have within the kingdom, if
So
any?
I mean, in the kingdom, none strictly. So it's a launchpad project for Bird Grammar because they're doing our dev side. So Johnny's handling the dev. So as a reward to the Bird Grammars, we're giving them 100 NFTs that will be dropped to Bird Grandma holders. But in terms of in the actual kingdom, nothing really, save for those. Yeah, save that you'll get a very warm welcome in the tavern, effectively. But yeah,
You can ask the tavern owner if you can maybe get a free mead.
yeah, I'll give you 5,000 coins in degen land.
Get you going. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, then another one from Marist is just to say, just in terms of going with the L1, L2 question, why not just use Polygon, seeing as it's already integrated with OpenSea?
Yeah, and that is a very interesting question because a few of the projects that I actually follow and I actually mod for. So one of the I say big projects. It's not big yet, but it will be. Is Ox Identities. I don't know if you've heard of that one.
Yep.
But yeah, so those guys actually were going to launch on IMX, and then they completely rejigged it and went for Polygon. Yeah, and I think that is a really interesting proposition to launch on Polygon. But our dev team obviously has experience on IMX, so that's why we're leaning towards IMX at the moment. That's not to say I wouldn't change to Polygon entirely, but I also think Polygon has got a similar cap in terms of people who know about Polygon. I haven't minted a Polygon project personally yet. Ox Identities will probably be my first one. I don't know if you guys have got any experience minting on Polygon.
Not really. I've got one or two drops from them. I haven't actually minted myself either. Anyone else?
I mean, I've played like Snook.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same as Henry. For me.
Yeah. So I mean, it's similar, isn't it? You know, there's not that many. It's not got that much exposure. But then I suppose you do have the benefit of being on OpenSea, which is where all the volume's at.
Yeah, and also if you're doing sort of game things similar to what's it, Neon Pizza or whatever that one, Neon District or whatever that game was, I think if you're doing any kind of games long term, the Polygon network sort of works quite well with that kind of thing. That's if you're doing
Yeah.
any games online. I mean, if you're doing a tabletop game, it might be something different.
Yeah, I think because it's a tabletop, I think it is slightly different. But like I said, I'm being completely open at the moment. I'm following all the different platforms, but I think because of our devs' experience and because they actually managed to navigate IMX quite well. I mean, the fact that they've been pulled in by Elio and Becca to try and help with the Super Farm launch says a lot. Yeah, so that's why we're leaning towards IMX, because we do have the experience of being able to do it. I think the mint should go smoothly.
Yeah, and I think maybe if there's any of the degens or any of the guys in the audience who know much more about Polygon than we do, maybe just reach out to Aerin and speak to them and see what information you can relay and just see if there's any value you can add in that sense as well. I'm sure that would be appreciated.
Yeah, I mean, Milo has just come out with a stormer of an answer. You can tell I'm not the dev, but he's basically said I'd stay away from NFTs on Polygon unless it's a game. It's not on layer one, so no full custody. You don't own the NFT. IMX can migrate to layer one Ethereum, giving you full custody, which is where I said about the mechanism that Apes has created is a game changer for IMX.
Yeah, we're all about custody, so I think that kind of answers that question.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, that is a big thing. I didn't actually realize that about Polygon, so that's really interesting to know.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I mean, look, with IMX, I think it's going to get there. It just needs a bit more time. That's all. I think they just need to go on a big recruitment drive, and now they've got that token that's made billions of pounds. I'm sure they've got the cash to do that, right?
Yep, and I mean I'm sure there's going to be other projects that are going to be using ZK as well, other than IMX. I mean, IMX being the first one is of course something, but there will be other things using the tech in the background. So who knows what happens down the line, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. What's next?
So then there's one question. I think it's a bit more of a fun one. The first baby is the Queen's, right? And the second one is that Lady BS, Lady B's. That's related to your kids.
Yeah. No, they're both the queens, and
Queens.
she will feed me to the wolves if I say anything but that.
All right, cool. Okay, that one about utility and tokens has already been asked.
I'm just scanning through. Someone
Yeah,
said that you can do the walk of shame from the tavern after you've in the metaverse. That would be absolutely hilarious.
Oh yes, that would be brutal. All right, I'm just going to post this question. It's a bit off topic. It just more speaks to your personal experience with law, etc. This one's from Whalen. His second question that we just wanted to give you a bit later, but before I forget about it and it hits the top of the chat, he just says, with your experience in law, where do you see NFTs and cryptos going in that regard? And if you have any knowledge about crypto in Japan, he'd really appreciate that.
I mean,
From a
I
legal
don't
standpoint.
know. Yeah, I don't know anything about Japanese crypto. Although we do have a massive Japanese following in Aerin. If you go into the Discord, there's a Japanese chat called the Samurai Garden, and there's an elder in there called NSI. Yeah, they might be able to help you because they're in all sorts of NFT projects. I know that a few of them are in the Wizards, so they might be able to help on that standpoint. But in terms of law, I mean, I only know English law, to be quite frank with you. I spent 8 years training to be a lawyer, but you only learn the legal system for the country that you're based in. So I can answer questions probably around British law and the rules around that, but I would just be sticking my finger in the air if I were to answer any questions about Japanese law and crypto. It's sort of like saying, yeah, I don't know. It's just not something that I've got any experience of. I'm also a real estate lawyer, so yeah, that's.
Yeah, and I mean, with crypto changing at the rate it is now, it would kind of be like you say something now and tomorrow it's invalidated anyway.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, it changes literally daily, especially in America. Like, I struggle to follow what's going on over there. Like, it's constantly being debated, and there's constant threats about doing this, that, and the other, and then there's people backing down, and yeah, I find it crazy. And then obviously you've got China and India that constantly FUD crypto and say that they're going to never allow you to trade or do anything ever again with crypto, and then that sort of gets quietly taken away. But yeah, I mean, I think Wellens just said he's gonna speak to the guys in the Japanese chat and ask them. But they definitely should be able to help. They're super friendly, and yeah, I was quite surprised when they all launched into Erin, but they love the idea of the gameplay behind it and the lore and like just delving into it. So yeah, makes sense.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and I think best to ask people that are in your jurisdiction to get more information.
Yeah, absolutely. No, what's the classic crypto saying? Do your own research. This isn't financial advice, and it's definitely not legal advice either.
Yeah, okay. We should add that one too. To our
Yeah.
disclaimers.
Cool. I think that's everything. I don't know if I can see any other new questions. If anyone's got any questions to ask, do you want to just chuck them in the channel quickly, and I'll just do a few more if you've got any.
I think we've gone through all of them. So anyone who's got anything they'd still like to ask or any clarification on anything that we've spoken about so far, feel free to pop that in there quickly. Oh, here comes Game Master again.
Of course.
Right, guys on stage, Henry, Rockboot, Summer, anything you guys would like to ask? We've kind of hogged the chat the whole way.
I don't really have anything, I guess. You guys did a good job.
I think we covered it all.
Thanks, guys.
Game Master, you've got so many questions. Come on, let's go fishing.
We got all night or day, depending where you are.
Night, but you know me. I'm back from work now. I'm here. We can keep going for an indefinite period of time. But I'm sure we'd also like to give the king some time to go and get things going on his side. I'm sure he's got plenty of stuff to work on. Okay, here's
The timeline for Christmas is good, but I think some might be tight on cash. Then is that set in stone? I mean, it's not set.
Well, right
Yeah.
now we've got the dip. Buy the dip and keep your ETH for then. Budget.
Yeah. I mean, it's not set in stone, but yeah. I mean, it's just the rough timeline. It's not. We haven't got a confirmed date of like 27th of December, for example. One thing I will say, it's not going to be the 21st of December because I get married on that day, so it's definitely not going to be then.
Well, congrats on that one.
Probably not going to be the weekend before either, and maybe not the day after. But I want to shoot for roughly that time. maybe first week of the new year once the Christmas period's over. I don't know, but that's a rough time, 5-6 weeks. Yeah. And then he said, 2 is the 4 clans the max, or will more come? No, definitely. Yeah, no, definitely not. So it's not going to be one of those scaling NFTs where there's a new collection released every week. I saw a few of those go up on on Solana. Like people basically bought 10,000, I don't know what it was, donkeys or something. And then the next week there was 10,000 llamas released. It's not going to be that, because that just literally kills the project.
Is the
And
NFTs.
yeah, and that ruins the floor entirely, and that's something I hate and something I'm passionate about not happening. So there'll be 4 clans, save 4. They will obviously be the secret clan. So if you burn 4 NFTs, you can summon the secret clan. So yeah, I suppose in an actual sense, there's 5 clans, but the 5th clan is actually a deflationary mechanism rather than an increasing mechanism.
Yep. All right. Then the question for the mint price, that one's already was answered just now. If you guys didn't hear it, it's kind of at this point between 0.07 and 0.08. That's all depending on how the ETH price is at the time. That might change, but for the smaller collection, it seems like for a collection of 4,500, it seems like a much more realistic thing. So there is going to be funds available for the different clans, as well as for the team to be able to get things done.
Yeah, exactly that. And then question 3, Redneck: will there be a chance to actually trade NFTs as digital playing cards? I'm not going to nail a yes to that, but that would be amazing. I'll just leave it at that.
Okay. Oh yeah, Dark Claw also asked it after the price one. He just says also any plans for a voice channel online or in person within the Kingdom events? Oh, sorry, voice channel online and in person Kingdom events.
Yeah, so there's definitely going to be a voice channel. There will be gaming tournaments. So I'm up for doing any sort of gaming tournaments. I think things like League of Legends and stuff like that lends itself best for gaming tournaments online. And once the mint's done, I'm happy to even contribute like Ethereum prizes towards those gaming tournaments. Yeah.
I don't know, with the in-person one, I think it would be freaking amazing if we all got dressed up and had like a role play battle with foam swords and shit like that in real life, but being spread across the whole world, I think that one might be a bit tricky, but it would be freaking amazing.
Well, one thing I did say was in my letter. I don't know if you saw that in the server, but I wrote a letter saying some of the things I wanted to do. I gave the idea of like clan paintballing, so like all the 4 clans like met up and like had a massive paintballing war. I mean, stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, stuff like that would be absolutely insane, right? It'd be so much fun. And yeah, I'd happily fund that out of the treasury. But it just the dynamics of that would have to be worked out, because we've got such a wide audience. There's a few people in UK, US, Japan,
Africa.
all over Europe, Africa. Yeah, I mean, it's just impossible almost to do that. So maybe we can like do virtual paintballing or something instead.
Or we'll just have to all make it really big in other projects and then flip them so we can travel and meet up somewhere. I mean, Crypto is planning to buy islands and yachts and do yacht parties and stuff like that. So why not do real life paintball?
Yeah, why not? I mean, Gary V's got his V Fest. Let's do an Aerin LARPing Fest, yeah.
That sounds right.
Wallin wants to do Gods Unchained. Yeah, why not? Let's do it. I mean, it's IMX, right? And Redneck's doing his usual villain thing of saying he's taken over the Dark Forest and he.
Oh yeah, he's been. I don't know if you saw the screen grab earlier. He's recruiting people, and they're already shouting death to the king. Just watch out, the god, where you've been called upon. The god better step up.
I know that. I mean, look, I love all of that side quests and stories. It'll be a lot more easier for me to sort of entertain it once I've done the main sort of reveals and all that sort of stuff, and everyone's chose their clans. And like I said, the guys, yeah,
Sorry,
the guys from Nifty Nuggets are already drafting like a story. Because over in Nifty Nuggets, they've got like a side sort of section of the Discord where they've got this Fellowship of the Nugget. So they're like linking that in with Aerin, which is really fun. So that's quite cool.
Redneck, there's one thing that there are a couple of the guards here, so you've just given us fair warning to protect our king.
Good. Don't dance around the king castle or no. Darklo, any plans, guidance available for folks who want to contribute to the story in Discord, like how Redneck has created the villains? Yeah, I mean, I love all of this. The problem I have at the moment is I have very limited time. I'm not going to lie to you. I've got baby, wife's pregnant, and I'm trying to launch this project.
And run a day job on the side.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, it's I've taken some time to sort of try and focus on this project as much as I can, and it will get all of my full attention. But once I've revealed the main storyline, I've worked out the dynamics for the mint, and I've got all of that concrete information in and ready to go, and I'm happy with the way the Discord's running. And I've also, because one of my main balancing acts at the moment is I don't want the Discord to grow too big too early, because then you just, like I said earlier, you just get constant negativity in a sense. People just want to mint there and then, and they want to have the NFT there and then. And I've got collaborations lined up, ready to go. Which
That's
I think.
The mead talking.
Pardon?
The mead there. That.
Yeah, definitely. That's my third beer that I've drank. So I've got collaborations lined up, ready to go, and I think that will grow the server organically, and it will bring the right type of people into the server, because I've been selective with the types of projects that I've reached out to collaborate with. But I don't want that to happen too early, because I am also conscious that the mint isn't for 5 weeks or 4 or 5 weeks now, so I don't want to have people in the Discord that are just going to be like,
Well, so just to that point, I think I don't want to overstep my bounds here, but I think generally how this works in these fantasy type things is if you come up with a cool idea and you can get some people behind you, you can sort of create your own narrative within there, similar to how the Villains is doing it. Like I won't name any projects, but we've had a couple of guys that have gone really hard into role play in a couple of other projects, so that could be fun.
Look, I want everyone to create their own role, and that's why I've said to everyone in the Discord, if you want to do something and you want your own role in the Discord, then you just literally need to DM me and sell me your idea. I've always got back to everyone who's done that. I've got people who wanted to be bakers, executioners, barmen, security, town drunks,
Blacksmiths.
blacksmith. Yeah, I mean anything. Like I entertain it all. And I think when the website's up, the law website, it'll give people free reign to go absolutely wild on the law. Like they can create their own backstories. They can, create quests going forward, group up with people, and just go absolutely wild on the escapism and that sort of thing. Because that's what the server's designed to do. It's designed to give you that place where you can just escape and do what you want to do.
I was a grandma and turned into an ape. Tyrion is a magical baby.
Now we switch from chocolate chip cookies to banana flavored cookies. Yeah, I saw Waylon. He goes full on in ape land as well.
We'll say things like toast and lemons.
Yeah.
I don't know if that one catches you. I know Summer knows all about that one. Toast, lemons, and tea.
Stealthfoot's quite funny. He was one of the first people in the server to have a custom role created for him. He basically said that he wanted to taste my food for me so that I didn't get poisoned. So he's my official food taster. So random. Cool.
Yeah.
Unless anyone's got any other questions, I think I've covered all of the ones that have come up.
Yeah, and of course, if you guys do have more questions that we don't cover here or that haven't been covered, I would just encourage you all to go over to the server, get involved, get engaged, and then I'm sure any questions that you have there, the community or the king or any of the members there would be happy to sort of engage with you.
Yeah. And yeah, just a big shout out to Cryptic Crypto for hosting us today. Yeah, it's been amazing. It's been great talking to you, and Zal, I think you've been awesome hosting it. So big props and thanks, man.
My pleasure, and thank you so much for coming along and taking the time to talk to us and give us info and give us some. I think we've had a couple of good alpha leaks here, so guys, there will be a recording of this as well. We have been recording it, so we'll let you know about that one and send it your way.
Perfect. I'm guessing that'll be a YouTube link I could put up in the server for people who weren't able to make it.
Yep, we'll have it on YouTube and Spotify.
Amazing, perfect. Awesome. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure, guys, and hope you all have a good rest of the day. I'm gonna go to sleep now.
Same
But
here. And once again, all hail the king.
yeah. Thanks, guys. Take care.
All right.
Joining
Thanks
us.
again. Have a good night.
Thank you.
You too. See you later, guys.
Cheers.
See ya.